Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Whiscash and why I think it's one of the better Pokemon for the Great League and also for Boulder Cup if you're going to be competing in the Sylph Arena. Now, Whiscash has an interesting type set in that it is water and ground. Now, one negative to water and ground obviously is going to be that it's going to take 2 times damage from 2 times super effective damage, I should say, from like any grass type. But electric types, it's actually going to be neutralized because of the ground typing on it. So that's why I think it's a pretty good option. I'm running mine right now, or I should be running mine right now, as a ground type attacker with Blizzard. I'll explain a little bit more why I chose this typing. Now for the Boulder Cup, you may want to run it more as a water type, just because of what all's in Boulder Cup. So it's kind of up to you there. Now, if you look at the 2 fast moves options it has Water Gun, and then it has Mud Shot. Now, Water Gun has a 1 turn duration. And then, so its damage per turn is 3, and its energy per turn is 3. And Mudshot is a 2-turn duration move, so its DPT is 1.5, EPT, or energy per turn, is 4.5. And I think that's why it has a little bit of advantage to me, because if you look at its charge moves, so its charge moves options are Blizzard, Mud Bomb, and Water Pulse. So Blizzard is 130 power and then 75 energy to hit that. That's a fairly high energy cost, but its damage per energy is 1.73, which is up there. But just keep in mind, it is going to take a while to get to that amount of energy. Whereas Mud Bomb is only 40 energy. It's only going to do 55 for the power, and it's so that means it's 1.38 damage per energy. But you're going to get off a lot more Mud Bombs in the time it's going to take to get to a Blizzard. You could potentially get almost 2 in the time it's going to take to get to 1 Blizzard. So if we go back to the fast moves, Water Gun, Mud Shot, we get 3 energy per turn with Water Gun, and 4.5 per turn with Mud Shot. So, doing the calculations on that, Mud Shot is going to give you 10, it's going to take you 10 turns, basically, to get to a Mud Bomb. It's actually 8.8, but because we have to round that up to complete the energy, obviously if it was 8 on the dot, that'd be perfect, but it's 8.8 is how much energy we're going to have to get. So it's going to take you 10 turns, basically, to get to a Mud Bomb. Now, if you look at Water Gun, on the other hand, it takes 14 turns to get to a Mud Bomb, because it's 13.3 if we do the calculations on it, to get to the proper energy amount. So it's going to take you an extra 4 turns to get to Mud Bomb. Now, if we look at Blizzard, similar situation, Mud Shot is going to get you there in 18 turns. Whereas Water Gun is going to get you there in 25. Now 25 is on the dot, so because it is a 75, so 75 divided by 3, we get 25 turns, blah, blah, blah. So that's how we did those calculations. Just gives you an idea that it's not always, it takes a little bit longer sometimes to get to certain things, but there may be an advantage. Like if you look at Boulder Cup right now, it may be advantageous to have Water Gun because there's so many, you have ground, rock in there. So that may be advantageous to have the Water Gun versus having the Mud Shot, because the Mud Shot's not doing as much damage per turn. Whereas the Water Gun does double the damage per turn, but it is going to take longer to get to your charge moves. I think that's where you could change it up a little bit and see what it gives you. Now, I think the optimum moveset, which mine doesn't have right now, is Mud Shot, Blizzard, and then Mud Bomb. Now I'm about to change. Well, right now what we'll do is I'm going to change mine. We'll change it to Mud Bomb. Let's see, and I want to change Water Pulse because I actually do like Blizzard. And the reason for that, so it learned Mud Bomb, there you go. You can see if you've got both, oops, cancel. If you've got both moves, if you already, that's what I'm telling a lot of people is get both moves first and then change your move sets, because if there's only 3 types, you're guaranteed that you already have 2 of them, so you can't get either of those 2, so you're going to get the 3rd one. So it's worthwhile to have the 2nd move just to change it. And you may not even have to use a charge TM if you get the right one right off the bat. So if we look at why I'm using Blizzard, first of all, it is the highest damage per energy that we can have on Whiscash. Also, it gives a lot of coverage for different things that Whiscash may come up against. In the Great League, you're going to come up against a lot of flying type. Altaria is one, Skarmory, and then also there are a lot of grass types. So, you know, Meganium, Venusaur, both of those could be options to that may cause you problems. I do have a video, I'm showing it over here right now, that shows me against a Meganium. For some reason the person attacked me with Earthquake. I'm not quite sure what their other move was. Earthquake does neutral damage to me, so I'm not sure why they would do that, because obviously it's not very effective against water type. It is super effective against ground type, so those kind of just cancel each other out. I'm not sure why they ran Earthquake unless they thought I was going to... I'm not quite sure what they were thinking. I did have shield, so I used a shield. They did not, obviously, which did give me an advantage, because and that's why I think you need to know what kind of types you're being attacked with. So if you're getting attacked by a Whiscash, you should know that it has the option of, you know, an ice type, a ground, or a water type move, and you should know that going in, that it's a possibility that this is what you could get hit with. This person didn't shield because they probably thought either I had Mud Bomb or Water Pulse, being that that was what my type was. So I got a lot of damage onto Meganium that I wouldn't have otherwise. So that kind of it's just a quick overview of Whiscash, why I think it's a pretty good Pokemon. Let me know what you guys are finding in the comments below. If you haven't already, follow the channel. I do appreciate if you would subscribe and everything. And until the next video.